Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Monday, 5th June 2017. The time is now 8 o'clock. Getting ready for tonight's show because one of the things I wanted to do tonight, I wanted to do an audit of the cabinet, like a midterm audit, and I wanted to call each minister by name and attach to that minister all of their successes and all of their failures to date 2 years in. While searching for that, I came across this joke. Some of you may have heard it before. It's about the post turtles, and I wanted to share that. While stitching a cut on the hand of a 75-year-old farmer whose hand was caught in a gate while working on his farm, the doctor struck up a conversation with the old man. Eventually, the topic got around to politicians and their roles as our leaders. The old farmer said, "Well, as I see it, most politicians are post-turtles." Not being familiar with the term, the doctor asked him what a post-turtle was. The farmer said, "You ever driving down a road and you come across a fence post with a turtle balance on top? That's a post-turtle." The old farmer saw the confused look on the doctor's face, so he continued to explain. "You know he didn't get up there by himself. He doesn't belong up there. He doesn't know what to do while he's up there. He's elevated beyond his ability to function. And you just wonder what kind of fool put him up there to begin with." Tonight, we're going to audit the government. Let them know we are.
Islands in the sun, islands in the fun. Welcome, welcome, one and all to the land of death. Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. When it comes to Bacchanal, well, they can't beat we at Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. Sweet woman parade abundantly. The brethren, they full of energy. Some people say God is a Trini. Paradise are not convincingly. God gave us a spirit fiery, but nothing in the world will bother we. But look at smart man gone with we money. We still come out and mash up the body. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT.
What's it feel like?
How I love of my country. Sweet, sweet.
What's it feel like tonight?
All this sugar can't be good for me.
My t-shirt courtesy Insane Creations. I need you all to support the people who support me. Any chance you get, give Insane Creation a sale. Even if it's to go and get one of the coat of arms t-shirts or miss me with that. Fire yourself. Give them some support because they're supporting us, yeah?
Oh, how I love of this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in this world I'd rather be. Sweet, sweet TNT. Oh, how I love of my country. Sweet, sweet TNT. All this sugar can't be good for me. All these years I spent abroad in it, call longing to be home. Trini to the bone, Trini to the bone. Lord, I pray that some sweet day I will no longer have to roam. Trini to the bone,
This is from our overseas
to the bone.
supporters. Come home.
The problems we have are plain to see. We prove we can stand this scrutiny.
Let's fix it.
Know that true democracy. How we vote is not how we party.
Not a
There's no
compromise.
place like home, some people say. Though some have to leave to make their way. But in your hearts, I know their destiny. So come home and pick up the country. Sweet, sweet TNT. Lord, how I love of this country. Sweet, sweet TNT. No place in
Monday, 5th of June 2017. You know what we should do? We should let Google. We should call the ministers by name and Google them. Tonight, I was supposed to get Gary Griffith weighing on an issue also, and I was supposed to call him back before I went on air. So let me just, because he too trying to keep up with all of the bacchanal. Y'all here, after we read what we read last night, the Chief of Defense Staff was sent on pre-retirement leave, so he gone. We have a new acting Chief of Defense Staff. We have an acting Commissioner of Police, an acting Chief of Defense Staff. We have a whole Judicial and Legal Service Commission acting a whole theater and a cabinet in a parliament that putting on a show. We gotta deal with all of that, because if we don't deal with it, what we doing? I called Anand Ramlogan just before I went on air. He is in court now, and I called him to ask him to give the country an update, because they're bringing a next matter against the state. And I want to say this, the UNC lawyers, and fellas, not easy. They're not easy. All the crap Rowley and Al-Rawi talk, Live Sport and Anil, what's going on with that? Write down all the scandals that the PNM raised while they was in opposition and ask them tonight, what's going on with that? What's going on with Live Sport, Mr. Rowley and Mr. Al-Rawi? What happened to that? All the noise all you make. Waste people time? What happened to Email Gate? Waste people time? Section 34. What happened to that? Gary Duckin, Mr. Griffith, dial my number. We want you to weigh in on what went on in that cluster. Anyway, a lady told me on Saturday after the meeting, we had a PEP meeting, and she had a private meeting with me after, and she told me she would like me to how she put it, but I can't remember her exact words. But she wants me to come across like a real politician, and I told her, but I'm not a real politician. I have no clue as to what a real politician in this context should be. What I am is a voice for the people. I give the people an opportunity to speak beyond the complicit and bought outright corporate control media. When we put it out in the public space, 2 days later, coming down the line, Denise Wren bust the mark about EFCL 48 hours later. I don't even try anymore. I don't even try to embarrass them anymore. All of a sudden, they're trying to play relevant. But it's too late. It's too late. They're running out of people to spell check in the media. You ever read one of the articles recently in the Guardian or the Express? Comma, full stop, words jump up on top of words. You ought to try and figure out what they're trying to say. 95% of the content in traditional media now is from trolling social media walls. By the time they run it, we done discuss it and gone on from it. And they do not follow up. They do not follow through. When they give you a story, it's a half a story. And before social media, that was the only story you could get. That was the only story I could get. So when they give you Faris' position, when they gave you the Freedom of Information report that was given to Sturge, they report that copy and paste. And then in the end, they let Faris talk his bullshit. Faris, miss me with that. Miss me with that, Faris. Because you took your children to Kamuto. You liable, Faris Al-Rawi. You are the one that made the decision. You made the negotiation. It is you and somebody in the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force that broke the law. And we need to find out who in the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force that broke the law, so you and he could get charged. Or you broke the law when you put guns in your children's hand. But the blue lights fly up in your head. I know you're the kind of flash jackass. Once your shoes shining like a donkey stones on a full moon night, you're special, ain't? With your pocket square and your shiny suits. When I tell you, boy, you just come across like everything that wrong in the world. Like nouveau riche. You ever see them who get their money all how in Miami? How they look? That's how Faris has come across. A big man with big children, dressing up like a party boy, sideburns and side part. You know, shame, Peter Pan syndrome eating all you up, ain't? But anyway, you are responsible, Mr. Al-Rawi. And the only thing looking worse than you right now is your Prime Minister. Because your Prime Minister don't know how to fire the people who bring in the country into disrepute, and they all in his cabinet. Somebody said today, Keith Rowley went to Tobago on the boat to say that we are going to solve the problem, and somebody on the jetty said, jackass, all you caused the problem. You and Rohan Sinanan, you think people will forget? Rohan Sinanan destroyed the Tobago Sea Bridge, destroyed it. The people in total disarray. People can't plan their life. They can't send their children to Trinidad. They have to come back and go to school. Tobagonians stuck. They don't know who else to turn to. If Trinidad have 4 months of foreign exchange left for food, Tobago in trouble. Tobago in trouble, because if the last 2 tin of corned beef reach here, Tobago had to eat salt. That's the truth. From Mason Hall to Whitehall, people want to know when we get in the sequel from Whitehall back. They're fed up. 2 years in. 2 years in. If you Google government ministers, I'm afraid to try. Let me start from the top. Let me start from the top. Who do you know in this government that you respect? Who do you know in this government that you trust? Who do you know in this government doing a good job? What have they done since they've stormed the rampart and lied their way into office because they built a whole government on lies? Keith Rowley is king liar. Lie his former leader into a casket. He tell the nation about this Lekoto spirit lash. Oh, hear that? That's your prime minister. That's your prime minister. Jumbie politics, boy. Jumbie politics. But coming back, Faris, they send Smart on leave. They need for you to step down, Peter Pan, and I'm going to stick that name on you. You need to step down. You are the one, you are the author of this scandal. This whole fiasco happened when you say, you know what, kiddies? Let me go and abuse my office. Let me go down Kamuto. Only have a whole high-powered rifle. Come and take some pics and put it up on Facebook and burn your friend's eye. That's what it was, you know. Posers. A set of posers. Bling. Bling. But you broke the law. You broke the Prohibition Against Military Training Act. And you are the Attorney General, the chief custodian of the law, the first upholder of the law. You need to step down or be fired. And Keith Rowley, what the Express editorial say is you're burning political capital. They're trying to be, I'm telling you, you're running out of time. Trinidad fed up of you and your bullshit and the whole clunker that you work with. Let me start with Senator the Honorable Rohan Sinanan. Jackass. He's the jackass in chief on the port. Rohan Sinanan. You come to government with no knowledge, no experience, no expertise. You make some money in Foodmaster supermarket and that qualifier. Pelt out some money, use one of Rowley financiers, jump in, take a ministry work, go down on the port and mash up the whole thing. So now, a PNM financer and an old stinking barge replace the Superfast Galatia. So the Superfast Galatia is in Spain doing yeoman service while Tobagonians taking jam like jackass. Why? Because they buy into the red and ready bullshit. The Honorable Faris Al-Rawi. Faris, I want to stick a pin, but I want to come back. No, you know what? Let me deal with you one time. Every lawyer writes since you come into government, the court throw it out. Everything that you've done so far as an attorney general has been an embarrassment to the nation. And to top it off, Peter Pan, you and your kiddies, what you all did at Kamuto, broke laws, and you need to be investigated for misbehavior in public office. What Smart did when they put out that document trying to assassinate the character of Kenrick Maraj, Major General, former Chief of Defense Staff, without even having the decency to invite the man to his own lynching. That's what y'all did. Y'all lynched the man. Y'all lynched the man. Y'all say, throw Kenrick Maraj under the bus. Kenrick said, no, Papa, yo. I wasn't involved. I want no part of this. I wasn't even there. So, you know what Kenrick Maraj tell all you? Miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with that bullshit. That's what you get from the former Chief of Defense Staff. And now, today, we have a brand new Chief of Defense Staff. But sending Smart on leave is not enough. Faris Al-Rawi needs to be fired as Attorney General and charged for breaking the law when he took his 2 children down to Kamuto to pose. Keith Rowley, do your work. Senator the Honorable Paula Hug and Kiss Gopi Schoon, famous the world over for almost getting arrested by the Secret Service for hugging up Barack Obama. That is all she's ever brought to the table. That's all she continues to bring to the table. But I am hearing rumors about her And I want Paula Gopiskun to hear me say this. Because like when the mayor tell the PNM financier investor, you see them garbage truck that you're bringing down here, don't bring them in town. Because I'm not taking that jail for you. So you know what they do? They didn't put him back up as mayor. That is why Martinez is mayor today, you know. Because the last mayor tell Keith Rowley, no partner, I'm not in all that bullshit. Yeah? And that is our next guy that I wrote his name down. Because I want to make sure Trinidad rewards him for that. So the PNM Finance had to ship them garbage truck to Tobago. I hear they're still hiding them. And I'm waiting for you, partner. I'm waiting for you and Scarface. The Honorable Shamfa. Call me Cujo. Yeah? $59,000. $59,000 on a phone bill. It wasn't my fault. $250,000 to sponsor a tourism cruise between Florida and the Bahamas. It even passed close to Trinidad and Tobago. But who benefit from it? A PNM financier. Take state funds, public funds, to overtly reward a political financier, a former treasurer, band owner. Yeah? Yes, Shamfa. What you do for tourism since you reach in office besides burning up a phone bill? What? You're an ex-jackass that should have never gotten a job. You only have that job because you're sassy and in a bacchanal party. So the more sassy your mouth is, the higher you're going to rise in that party. Because that's all that this cabinet bring. Keith Rowley was always a barking dog. Patrick Manning, love him or hate him, knew exactly what he was doing, you know. Patrick Manning assembled a cabinet of horses for courses. And Keith Rowley was hired to be a top dog in chief. That was his job. That was his whole work. So when it's his turn to build a cabinet, he ain't know nothing about else but dog. And there's a pack of barking dogs here. Look at what's going on. The Honorable Rump with me, Daryl Smith. He's the Minister of Sport. Sporty Spice. His whole claim to fame now, formerly, was opening Anil Roberts buildings. Buildings at Anil built. And calling them the best in the world. The best cycling track in the world. The best swimming pool in the world. If it's the best in the world, fire Sporty Spice and bring back Anil. Because I don't understand. You make a big fuss. You and Peter Pan, ballhead. You and Peter Pan make a set of noise about live sport. And they fire the man. I say it's jail for Anil. What going on? 2 years. What happened to the investigation? All they did a map, a clue, directions, a magnifying glass borrow. What you need, partner? Or did you lie on Anil Roberts to get into office? What's going on? All of a sudden, Faris, 2 stones on fire, and they squeeze him from a side, and he know they come in. So all of a sudden, police go in and take information on HDC contractors under Monilal, because it's Monilal bust the file on Faris. And we watching. But Sporty Spice, what has Sporty Spice done besides take $92,000 and 3 little girls to Rump in Tobago? What has he done? And how come he's still in office? But Keith Christopher Barking Dog Rowley tell the nation, I will review it. Review my half-red ass. You wanted to distract people and end the conversation. But that's not happening, brother. Not on my watch. Senator the Honorable Franklin Kahn. This is a man. I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago something. When Franklin, you ever hear mothers talk that when your toddlers quiet worry? Franklin Kahn is a fella like that. When you're not hearing about Franklin Kahn, worry or brace for where you'll find out 3 years down the road. And plus, they put him in energy and we hear nothing but hearing things getting valuated to put on the auction block. So I'm waiting to hear that mark, that bus. The Honorable Randall I want a house Mitchell. Where do? We're doing. All you turning sort to build ghettos. 40 million, 60 million, 100 million. The ghettos you was building since Manning days, you can't finish. You're building new ghettos. Taking taxpayers' funds to give party financiers to build ghettos. Overpriced, undervalued. Yeah? Stoops at that, Narandal. Stoops at that. Stoops at that. The Honorable Weave Me Alone, Camille Robinson Regis. $93,000 in a brown paper bag, and the police investigate that yet. The bank, who is not the bank is the last person to pretend to be a bastion of integrity. They couldn't touch it, and they're taking all kind of money, but they couldn't touch that. They say to you, the bank say to you, how you so mad? Did you put God out your thoughts? You tell them, I vex with one bank, so I close my account and I bring all my money to put in this bank. Today was the first day I come out in public, Camille. Today was the first day, or those fertility treatments screw up your mind. That was the first time you ever use a bank. Because this bank asks you, that bank couldn't have advised you about writing a check. There are instruments. You could have wired the money. You could have get a banker's draft. You could have get a certified check. Nobody takes $93,000 in a brown bag. So I believe, Camille, that your story is a story. And I believe that in a real country, the police would have found out who gave you that $93,000. But we will wait. We will wait. The Honorable Terrence Deyalsingh. What do you say about this man? This man is blazing a trail. Blazing a trail. He is boldly going where no government minister has ever gone before. On his watch, 3 people got HIV. 3. On his watch. On his watch, 3 people got HIV infected by the state. State-sponsored infection. On his watch. On his watch, a company was able to supply the state with fake medicine. On his watch. On his watch. And when they pulled the contract, they never announced who it was, whose contract they pulled. They never announced any criminal investigation, because it should be a criminal investigation, in my mind, if you are selling fake drugs to the sick. Yes, on his watch. On his watch, a hospital current went for 24 hours. And a man died because his life support system, there was no backup generator. In a public health system that costs this country on average $5 billion. Apparently this year it's $6.25 billion to run it. Deyalsingh just pips past Rohan Sinanan for Chief Jackass and didn't get to hold the title long. Because on the wall, the pictures right next to his steals everybody's thunder. And he is Colm Imbert. He is the man that puts the banana in Banana Republic. Colm Imbert destroyed an entire nation's economy. While the rest of the world is buoyant and booming, Trinidad is in a recession. While the Commonwealth is experiencing unprecedented growth, Trinidad is in a recession. While the United States of America, our biggest trading partner, has unprecedented incandescent returns on their Dow Jones Industrial Average, and their unemployment rate is near 0. They're calling for people from the Caribbean and Latin America to come and work in the construction sector and drive trucks, because the economy might grind to a halt if they don't get some more workers. While that's going on, Trinidad is in a recession. While Guyana, making the same $41 a barrel of oil and booming, Trinidad in a recession. Grenada's economy grew 4% this year. Grenada, who we just wash we mouth on. But Trinidad in a recession. Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay bubbling. But Trinidad in a recession. And the whole globe, for the first time in this country's history, in this world's history, the whole global economy is set to grow 3%. They don't know how that is happening. And only Trinidad is in a recession. I watch a television show where a man tell the cook, I eat eggs every day. I eat all kind of eggs. I eat scrambled eggs, fried eggs, sunny side eggs, omelets. These eggs I cannot eat. Who do I blame? The hen or the cook? Who do we blame, Colm? Certain people getting foreign exchange. Alcohol and cars are awash in the market. But you can't get foreign exchange to send to your children studying in school. Terrence Deyalsingh, blame you. Blame the foreign exchange for the fact that people suffering from cancer can't get cancer drugs. The two all your tag team people. All your tag team people with nonsense. But you, Colm Imbert, you are a jackass of class. We will remember you for a long time to come. A long, long time to come. Then there's Anthony Garcia, basking in the shade of the two giants we just called before him. The Honorable Anthony Garcia, who's EFCL today. His EFCL board is so corrupt, is so manifestly corrupt, because the information we read in the public space on Friday night was eclipsed by what we read Sunday night. But Friday night we found out that the Education Facilities Company Limited facilitated bubble, bid rigging, graft, and corruption. That's what they facilitate. That's what the Education Facilitation Company is. And that's what took place. And now there is an audit into the board. Love and Service, Arnold Pigott, chief bandit, orchestrator of what took place, wrote them his resignation. He wants to go and spend time with his loved ones in Panama. You know your loved ones? Numbered bank accounts. Hold Arnold Pigott here. Hold his passport. Tell Arnold Pigott, brother, you cannot leave until we get to the bottom of how a proper, legitimate, legal tender was cast aside. In the bright light of day, you even try to hide it and say, you know what? Fireburn the people who win the tender. Bring this man. Let me give you a soul select. Send it. And today, the Parliament summoned the board, and the board said no. Is that the Chief Justice? The law fraternity say, we have no confidence in you. He said, fine, but I'm not going nowhere. I'm not resigning. I remember once I broke up with a girl, and she said she had no problem with that, but she not breaking up with me. It's like I had no say in the matter. So we was, as far as she was concerned, we still together. That's what the Chief Justice want to do. That's what the Chief Justice want to do. And the EFCL board, we don't answer to nobody. Emile Elias set the tone for this government, you know. Emile Elias picked up $255 million in TSTT money, which is state money, and bought a failed company, Massey Communications, a bullshit company, and called it, what it was? A strategic alliance for the communication sector. When we scratch a little bit, what we found out was it was payback, political financier payback, because what it really went on was that company failed. And the man that you appoint as the chairman of the university, this same jackass jump out himself and announce him before the university could have even had a chance to review. And I think the university tried just to not embarrass Trinidad and Tobago, gave Bermudez that position. But that same guy, when interviewed, said it was a blessing to Massey to offload that pile of horseshit that was Massey Communication. And then came to tell the nation that they have 34,000 customers, or they service 34,000 people. Is I had to tell Trinidad what that meant was the lines pass in front of 34,000 homes. They had 5,200 customers, and half of them was free. Special introductory. Try it for free. And you call that the reason for buying it. But Emile Elias set the tone. Emile Elias' response was, we don't answer to nobody. We don't answer to no parliament, we don't answer to no government, we don't answer to no cabinet, we don't answer to no integrity commission. We could do what we want and do what the hell you like, land. Emile Elias understands this. Is do what the hell you like, land. And the EFCL board say, if the priest could play, who the hell is we? So if Emile Elias could say, we don't answer nobody, we're answering to the parliament. So now you have a rogue board. You have the Education Facilities Company doing what they like. And they say, the parliament, the highest authority in the land, cannot summon you. Well, brother, if the parliament can't summon you, then we have to appeal to Jesus, or Buddha, or Mother Lakshmi. Because clearly, you're not answering to any earthly authority. Moving on, Maxi Coffee, the Minister of Miscommunications. And right now, the less I say about this guy, the better. Because I am very angry with Maxi Coffee, and I am watching. They set out to sell a conglomerate. CNMG, Talk City, GISL, and AVM Channel 4. They set out, before they even came into office, we knew that they were trying to bundle it, package it, and sell it to a conglomerate finance of the PNM. And it is happening surreptitiously, and nobody is getting a chance to even look at that, because this government is so riddled with the cancer of corruption that by the time the ink dry, it'll be too late. Because they will end up in a court, and it will end up 10 years, and PNM lawyers will make $500 million in legal fees, and the state will have to pay the other side legal fees to settle a matter, and the people that you're selling it to might end up getting paid a profit. And by then, all the companies close down. Maximilian Cafe. That's the man who told me that the zebras and the gazelles drink at different water holes for a reason. And that is the kind of jackass you have in government. But forget him, because as much as he is a jackass, next to him is Stuarty Boy. Stuarty Boy. Stuart Young. Stuart Christopher Rowley Young. Stuarty Boy. Stuarty Boy, who said, even though the people who did the contracts in the PTSC wasn't hired, they wasn't appointed, they didn't win no bid, they wasn't sole selected, nobody knew, they do the work anyway, pay them. And Stuarty Boy, and nobody yet investigating you. Why? Because as long as Stuarty Boy is in the cabinet, Keith Rowley will never need a colon cleanse. Because that is Stuart Young's position. They call him Minister in the Ministry of the Attorney General. But he is really Keith Rowley's colon cleanser in chief. And that is why he is the only person Keith takes with him. Keep that colon shiny. So Stuart, give way. Give way for Clarence Rambarat. Clarence Rambarat. Give way for Clarence. Clarence, who was an express columnist, and a lawyer, and a lecturer, and a blogger, and a all you want to talker, now reaching government, now has the opportunity to do all the things that he said that he knew that government was supposed to do. He is taking that time to do us all, because he just there for the money. He just there for the blue lights. He just there for the posts. He ain't upsetting nobody. You don't have to call his name. The Ministry of Agriculture, the perfect example of a clusterfuck was when Clarence Rambarat went into Caroni Green Limited at the start of his foray as Minister of Food Production to say that company is an example to all other companies of how a state company should run. And it is the largest earner of foreign exchange outside of the energy sector. And 3 months later, he shut it down. And to this day, nobody knows why exactly he shut it down. But somebody told me somebody want the land. And that was why, it might have been the reason why it was shut down. We will find out. But next to Clarence is the Minister of Sweet Potatoes, Avinash Singh. There is a time in this country where you could be the right Syrian at the right time, or the right African at the right time, or the right Chinese at the right time. Avinash Singh was the right Indian at the right time. And he was a farmer, and he was a squatter, and a sweet potato farmer, and he had all the right optics for the PNM to embrace him, reward him, give him a position, and tell him hush. So that's what he does. He's hush. He gets a state salary for doing asshole, and nobody knows what, and nobody knows why, because he's working under Clarence, and Clarence is doing asshole. So at best, He's the ass-all assistant, but I don't know. One day we will find out. The last two comics in the comic clowns in the whole clown car, this full big top theater circus of our government, is Edmund Dillon and Fitzgerald Hines. Two jackasses, one more than the next, no matter which order you put them in. Edmund Dillon is so incompetent as a Minister of National Security, the media don't even ask him questions. If you wake up tomorrow and 50 people get murdered last night, the media calling Gary Griffith first. The media don't call Edmund Dillon. The police don't call Edmund Dillon. The army don't call Edmund Dillon. Right now, the entire army in disarray. It is a clusterfuck of epic proportions, and nobody asking Edmund Dillon anything. Why? Because Edmund Dillon has nothing to say that anybody needs to hear. He is at best a bench warmer, a placeholder. He is a hole, a walk and hush. He is so incompetent, they've given him 2 assistant ministers. All 3 together are so piss poor at what they do that nobody even takes it on anymore. This is a nation with a murder rate skyrocketing. This Sunday, a person, what I'm about to tell you here, I know you all missed it in the news. What I'm about to tell you here will shock all of you. Somebody was driving down the highway on Sunday and was shot in his chest from a random high-powered rifle on a walkover. And nobody has been held, and nobody is talking about it. And the last person anybody wants to know anything about anything like that is Edmund Dillon. Jackass extraordinaire. He excels at being one. When they stick a microphone in his face, it looks like a day in the headlights. He's always look shocked. He just wake up, or he just arrive. I don't know anything about anything, and I stand by that. And before, when Colm was Jackass in chief, one man decided he wants that title. And he did everything in his power to take that title. And as of today, if ever there was a Crocus Bag of Ass award, it should go to Fitzgerald Hines. Fitzgerald Hines is a different level of jackass. He's a jackass with wings. He's a different level of jackass. Fitzgerald Hines told the people of Morva that it is not government work to give all your water, and it's not government work to give all your smooth roads or pavements or jobs or lights. And he said that to Hema Ramkissoon, and Hema said, we'll take a break. I wish he had said that to me. If anybody, Fitzgerald Hines, I know you're watching, because you just call me, I know you're watching. Call me now, brother. If your name man, call me now. I will interview you now. Because the question Hema Ramkissoon was supposed to ask you. So if government work is not that, what's government job? What do you get paid for? What do you get paid for? But everything for him is politics. It's political. It's political. He said to Hema, for 55 years we've been unable to provide water 24/7 to the nation, despite spending trillions of dollars. This is a nation that spent $60 billion in the last 10 years. Digest that. That is more money per capita than the United States of America. We spent $60 billion in the last 10 years and cannot understand. He said, and Hema could vex all she want. You had fodder in front of you. This jackass told you trillions of dollars later, 55 years of independence, and we can't figure out how to do what England did. Because he said in the interview, it's always amazed me when I go to England, jolly old London, and I turn on the tap and there's always water, as if by magic. A jackass with wings. Your Minister of Public Utilities. That's your cabinet. That's the government of the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, led by a man who was elected into office after 5 years of steady campaigning. And he knew all of the answers when it was campaign time. He planned for the wedding. Presented with a marriage, he has no idea what to do. So Jackass in Chief went on the Tobago boat to make a point. And the point was made by the Tobago boat because it stick and it stalled and it nearly catch a fire. They had to send for the Coast Guard. The Prime Minister in trouble. And when he landed in Tobago, the truckers there striking, protesting. What you have to tell them? What you supposed to say? I have appointed a Jackass as Minister of Transport, and my Jackass has done his job properly, because it was my Jackass's job to end the superfast glacier and give the work to a PNM financier. And when we were paying $15,000 US, I said it was too much money. So now we pay $22,000 US, and it's just right. This is a Jackass who stumbled into government and found 2 whole new children that nobody knew he had before. Nobody. Brand new, full grown men. Add them to the family, Nadal and Sharon. Set 2 more plates. A nation so comfortable with the fact that its Prime Minister is a liar, that if he found 3 more children tomorrow, it wouldn't make news. You wouldn't care. That is Mr. Landate. That is Mr. Cleaver Heights. That is Mr. Renaissance Towers in Shorelands that had a cap 35 feet. Go and see what he let them build now. MP for the area, you know. People from Rich Plain and Bagatelle and Blue Basin call me today. I tell them, organize yourselves. We will organize a Diego Martin protest that they will never forget. Because these people have not had water since December 2016, and we're in June. And when you was in opposition and I ran against you as an independent candidate, I got WASA to take water to Rich Plain. And you and your failure of a councillor called a press conference and wanted to call the Integrity Commission, and the people of Rich Plain tell you, miss we with that bullshit, brother. Because the man get we water. Yeah? That's your Prime Minister. And that clown car is your government. Yeah? That's where we are. Trinidad and Tobago. How you feel? The Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic. Loop announcing the Scarlet Ibis is being hunted. Tour guides charging people to take them to see the Scarlet Ibis, and people roasting them. National bird of Trinidad and Tobago. The only thing we don't eat is kobo because it's poisonous. We don't eat that too. Rainfall for one night, last night, and the whole of Port of Spain flood. And it floods so bad it can make news. Why? Because people just punch drunk. They tired talk the same thing. A man tell me, I put up a picture of the flood, and he said, boy, I see in that same flood 30 years now. Just hold them and wonder. national anthem. The eating is Scarlet Ibis. A man sent me this. Questions for Rowley. Why did you have to go on the boat? Is there nobody in your government you could trust to tell you the truth? Why would you want to spend all of this wasteful time on the boat when you could be looking for ways to run the country? If this is going to be the norm now, take off your siren and join the people from South who have to get up 4 o'clock every morning to take 4 hours of jamming to come to Port of Spain. Or is it that you have no clue how to run this country and what you're looking for is PR to fool people? This morning, somebody shared a picture. I want to give her credit because the person who shared the picture, her name is Tori Tamara Metive. And she shared a picture of Gem Pro Security Services, a vehicle strapped down on the back wall, about 4 cages that we could see, the size of a dog. So they have these security dogs inside of a cage. They can't move. They can't move around. They can't sit down. They're stuck in this cage on the back of Gem Pro Security Services van. Pelting rain and day in traffic. Do you all remember the rain this morning? Them dogs stand up and take that rain in the van, in the back of that van for Gem Pro. And I put that out this morning and I tell Trinidad and Tobago, anybody who hiring Gem Pro Security Services tonight are animal abusers. Because your money facilitating animal abuse. Boycott Gem Pro. Colm, Fitzy, Daryl, Watson, Faris. By the time this matter done with Faris and the children and them guns, the whole army for long, them going and mash up everything just to get away from the fact that your Attorney General broke the law. The Attorney General, Chief Custodian of the law, Chief Custodian of the law, broke the law. And for nothing, he is man enough to admit it. For nothing. Martin Daly told the Chief Justice, say oops. Say oops. Say we made a mistake. You have people on the radio calling in and saying, well, she didn't tell them. When you go to court, they ask questions. They don't wait for you to volunteer everything. That's not how the system works. Who was in charge of the due diligence that appointed a woman, the chief magistrate, who had 53 pending matters? You trying to tell me somebody couldn't say, let me look in the docket. Let me just check. She's the chief magistrate. How hard would that have been to do? How hard?
Yeah. Revelation.
The Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Leave it so. Leave it so. Your children going to school today, the teachers are demotivated. The children are being bullied. An entire school was shut down out of fear of one student. There is no authority, no management, no supervision, nothing of value is happening outside of the prestige schools for the rest of the 19,000 children who also ran. You know when they have a race, he come first, she come second, she come third, the rest also ran. 19,000 children also ran because the education system is not set up to look after them. We're spending $5 billion, $250,000 per child per year to drive, to create KFC cashiers and security guards.
Promise the fire next time. He promised the fire next time. He promised the fire next time. And who ain't there, the bad wounded, who ain't there, bad wounded, who ain't there, the bad wounded, who ain't there, bad wounded.
A woman, 70 years old, sent a message through the former head of the National Carnival Commission. She sent a message, please get it to Philip Alexander. And she sent a message to say she is suffering from cancer. She is a citizen, a taxpaying citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. She's in a hospital in a bed that has no sheets. The bed is stained up. There are no sheets. There are no curtains. The door falling off of the ward in the hospital. When you go to the hospital, you see, we talk this talk, we talk it, but it is not us who go in that hospital and facing what these people had to face. Facing what they had to face. Because $6.25 billion is being spent. $625,000 million is being spent. $17 million a day is being spent for that bullshit masquerading as a health sector. And we're not talking about that. Have to talk.
I check your lyrics and I'm confess you. Far too long, you're fooling the children, telling the heavy much education. Doomsday reach, wipe and you repeat, cause the children coming to take back the beat. The power of the word in the conscious styling. For a brand new morning. The power of the word in the rap so styling. Rocking the roots of the vampire system. Talk it all.
Let's take some calls. Brief. Keep it brief. I will cut you. Don't call and talk for 10 minutes. Everybody want their chance and I'm tired hearing the phone beeping. 682-2110. If you want to contribute, call. But let's keep it brief. Say where you're calling from and add your piece, right? Give everybody a chance. 682-2110. I hope Gary Gifford call. And David Abdullah. I see David Abdullah jumping the fray, talking about the Chief Justice. I see Fixing TNT talking about the port. Like all of these people realize the rest of the nation, leave them and their bullshit behind. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hi, good night, how are you? I just want to say a very big supporter you from since the day of TNT Borough. I just want to let you know you're doing an excellent job calling from Orbush West. And there's one issue that I would like you to address. The PEP, what are your takes on the LGBT community in Trinidad and Tobago?
Say that to me. No, but say the question again.
What does the PEP have in store for the LGBT community in Trinidad and Tobago?
Okay, you can listen to that and I'll answer that off here. Yes. Thank you for the question. My position is live and let live. I am not in a position to tell any grown adult person what they should be doing in their bedroom and who they should be loving. My concern is who people hating. We have to enforce laws that protect people from each other, not separate them from each other. And I want to be able to respect everybody's right to their religion, to their partner of choice, to how they want to dress as long as they're not obscene. I think that we as a nation need to get out of being caught up in the thick of thin things and start to focus on the important things. So that is my position. Yeah? 682-2110. If you want to call, we have some minutes. What is going on? And now say, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good night.
Good night, you're live.
Good night. I would just like to say that Trinidad and Tobago, in terms of diversification, we need to change our attitudes to facilitate diversification before we start looking at diversification. And we must spend tremendously on our education, and that is the only way forward. Thank you and have a good
Where you call from? Okay. And I lost both calls one time. Call back, the caller who just called. Yeah. Diversification. We propose 2 ministers of finance. One to deal with the mess that they meet, and one, his work or her work is diversification. Hello, good evening. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Arima, Mr. Alexander.
Talk your talk.
I keep reminding you of a song I sent you called Alternative Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we're hearing jamming still and knocking pretender, but I would beg of you to listen to Alternative Facts. Thanks.
Okay, my friend. Hello, good evening. You're live. Where are you calling from? And we lost that call too. Something wrong with the system tonight. Faris, let get out of my phone now. Let people get a chance to call in now.
He promised the fire next time. He promised the fire next time. Next time. And who in there, the badly wounded? Who in there, badly wounded? Who in there, the badly wounded?
Hi, good evening. You're live.
Right, good night. I'm calling to find out. Could you do an investigative report into our national anthem, Baby Cal? It has been running for a loss for about since I know myself growing up, and nobody seems to want to address it. I don't know if you can look into it and
Absolutely. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Trinity.
Thank you, my friend. We will. Cal, Caribbean Airlines. Hello, good evening. You're live. Where you calling from? Hello, good evening. You're live. Where you calling from? I apologize. When the calls change, we're losing 2 calls at once. I believe that they are eavesdropping on our conversations in extremes. Right, it's 4 minutes to 9. Housekeeping. peptrenbago@gmail.com. peptrenbago@gmail.com. Send your emails. Saturday at noon. I am trying to say that every Saturday at noon, the team will be meeting the people. I do my best to be there every Saturday. I also have other obligations because people call me all over the place to come and see this and come and see that. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good night, Philip. This is Ali G. How are you doing, darling?
I am good, darling. I see you got your t-shirts.
But hey, I hope you see me.
I see you, yes.
The New York crew, we on.
I hope you're ready to get on that plane and come back and vote, eh?
Hey, well, listen, you see why I said the people them take off the voters list. We have to look into that disenfranchisement of citizens.
We have to look into that because I know Americans here vote in the American election. So Trinidadians overseas supposed to be able. So we will definitely look into that. Thank you for calling me, darling.
Exactly.
Thank you for
calling
me.
Good night,
You too, darling. Bye. Hello, good evening. You're live. Hello, good evening.
Mr. Philip.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Curep.
QREP.
I have a serious question to ask you about the employment rates in Trinidad and Tobago.
The what rates?
Employment.
Employment rates?
Yes. Can I have your take on it, please?
On my take on what's going on with employment? Sure. You want me to answer on the phone or you listen on the system?
On the screen.
Okay. So, we stand for a government that takes responsibility for job creation. We need to have unemployment rates no higher than 3%. We need to create a system where people can get a job. There are Nordic states that have a high tax and we pay a high tax here. But the reason they charge you a high tax there is if you lose your job, they pay you the same salary that you were making before for 6 months and find you another job. The government has a responsibility to make sure that all of our people are working. And one of the things that we want to do is a jobs creation program, and we commit ourselves to that. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good night. I'm calling from St. Joseph. I called just now and raised the point on diversification.
Right.
I just want to say again that we have so much things going on in Trinidad and Tobago, so much beautiful waterfalls, nice beaches, etc. I don't see if we learn to sell ourselves right, as a nation, and be a welcoming country. Our citizens need to make the change and understand that this is necessary. We are a current country, and we can more than facilitate tourism.
Absolutely.
Right? We just need to change our attitudes and get the right leadership to lead that change, and it will happen.
Thanks a lot, St. Joseph.
Much and enjoy.
Thanks a lot, St. Joseph. Well said, and he's absolutely correct. Job creation through a manufacturing sector, a proper tourism program, not this foolishness that passes for a tourism program now, and agriculture. Those three things, if you get involved in a proper entrepreneur supporting small business development mindset, where we stop trying to make everybody employees and try to get them to be net employers. We want, if we have 50,000 acres of farmland, we want 50,000 farmers to have access. We don't want one man to get 20,000 acres, and that kind of nonsense needs to stop. When you drive down Chagaramas and you see what is being built down there, they took a whole chunk of waterfront and give it to one man. Take that. Take that. In One Woodbrook Place, when you go in One Woodbrook Place, and I talk about this already, one person seemed to have access to all the prime real estate in One Woodbrook Place. How does this happen? Somebody sent me something today about Siam Nightclub and the National Insurance Board and Tamnak Thai, and we run out of time tonight. I want the serial attendees to remind me tomorrow to dig up in that, because that seems to be one of the most suspect transactions this country has, and this is a notorious country for suspect transactions. Yes, so we can't take any more calls because we are pretty much out of time. So we will do Saturday's meeting. Saturday's meeting is important. Also, we are planning a fundraising barbecue, and that is being organized now. I think it's the 9th of July. Lima, you on the wall. If you could tell them the date of the barbecue. Tickets will be on sale soon. It's called Meet, Greet and Eat. So we'll all be together and it'll be a nice line. Following on that, that'll be in Port of Spain. Following on that, we're doing a progressive empowerment party, Friends and Family Day. And I think that is either Central or South. If you have access to property, land, we're looking for a space, or I guess we will apply for use of a park facility or school grounds. We want to have the Progressive Empowerment Party, Friends and Family Day. Again, another way for us to socialize and move through the country and meet and talk to everybody. Yeah, so that said, thanks a lot to all of you who were here tonight. And don't forget to send your email to peptrinbago@gmail.com. Tell them I would like to contribute to the party. I would like to contribute $20 a month, because if you could put that into the party, $20 a month, and yeah, less than a pack of cigarettes, but build out this party, because you do not want those deep pocket financiers to come along and support us. In exchange, to do this, we have to get financial support, and we want it to come from you, the owners of this party. Yes, Saturday at noon, come to the meeting. Come and meet your fellow peppers. Come to the meeting on Saturday. Send your email. Send an email to peptrinbago@gmail.com. Tell them your constituency, your name, your email address, a phone number if you could, and in what way you would like to serve. Yes, thank all of you who are with us tonight. See you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on the dot. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.